Welcome back to episode 154 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. What is this, week two, I think, of the MLB offseason or something?
It's something like that.
Yeah. I don't know if it's you or I don't know if it's me. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't know if it's me, but I feel like we've been off to a slow start this
Yeah.
offseason. It feels like, I don't know why, for some reason, like more than other years, it feels like it's kind of been very slow. Like not like in terms of like just signings and stuff. I know it's November 17th at the time of this recording, so there's still obviously plenty of time for these guys to start signing. But we did get a little bit yesterday with Josh Naylor. We'll touch upon that. But God, I need some more, man. I need some more chaos. Like one of these GMs gonna start making trades and stuff and start signing some people. But I don't know. It just feels like it's kind of gone by a little slow to start. But of course, it'll ramp up here soon. But before we get into everything that we want to discuss, and finally we can talk about some award winners here. And I know Kyle's gonna, you know, dump dump on every citizen in the Washington, Seattle area in a couple moments here. But before we get into that, Kyle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Kind of just the ebbs and flows right now. It's one of those things where I mean, you kind of touched on it perfect. Yeah, this off season, man. It's funny because we started off this podcast saying, "What is this week two of the MLB off season?" Dude, I feel like we've been here for a while now, and obviously the awards last week helped a little bit, and
Oh
there
yeah,
was one in particular I was very concerned about, which we'll touch on, but like that was like the first moment where I was like, yo, I feel I have that baseball feeling again, right? And and then of course, with Josh Naylor signing last night, it was all, those feelings that you missed throughout the season and obviously the off season. So it's definitely off to a slow start, but yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. It's very weird right now. Hopefully this shit starts picking up soon, man, because I need some baseball. I really do. I hate the off season, man. I hate it with a passion. It's getting dark earlier here on the East Coast. It's 4:30 right
amen.
now. Yeah, at the time of this recording, and in about probably 45 minutes it's going to be pitch black outside. And I'm sick of that. And it's kind of just annoying. And then on top of that you have no baseball. So hopefully this shit starts picking up a little bit, but yeah, other than that, man, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I mentioned this to Kyle when I first stopped on here. Very dark, rainy, depressing weekend here in Southern California. It was raining pretty much nonstop from, I'd say, Friday night until maybe Saturday night. Just consistent. Like there was some times where it let up and it was like a hard like drizzle, but then there was points in the day where it's like damn, it is not safe to drive out here. I still did because I'm badass like that. So, you know, I don't follow the rules. I make my own. So, even though it was probably not good to be driving out there, I don't give a shit. I still drive. I'll still do what I want. So, honestly, Saturday, if you would have seen my day, you would have thought it was sunny and 75 degrees outside. But that was not the case. It was pouring raining. But still, um, doing well. And I have to show this to you because I mentioned this to you a couple weeks ago, but it has finally arrived, and I haven't shared this with the audience here, and I got to show it to you right now. There it is. There it
Oh,
is, baby. There it is. Shout
no
out
shit.
to Eric from Bat Boys. Of course, as you know, very popular Instagram page. They do all kinds of content with players and stuff. Fantastic. Of course, they were there for the World Series out here in LA and then of course in Toronto. And the backstory is after the Dodgers won game 6 of the World Series. I DM'd him after the game. And I was like, "Hey, if the Dodgers win game 7, could you see if you can get me some dirt?" Now, I'm very superstitious. I was like, I don't think the baseball gods are going to like me saying stuff like that before a game 7 is even played here. But I was like, you know what? I'll take a shot. Who cares? And sure enough, the night of game 7, I got a DM like at 11:30 at night, 12:30 in the morning. He's like, I got you. So shout out to Eric, man. Big props. As you can see, I got the dirt in there. Even got some confetti in there too. So that was cool from the World Series celebration after. And if you take a look closely, it says the first base area. So if my calculations are correct, right where Freddie Freeman caught the ball to end the World Series now. So that got me excited. That got me very emotional all over again. I started thinking of Game 7 and everything, and I got real excited. So shout out to Eric from Bat Boys. Big props to you. And when I die, this goes in there with it. So this is gonna go with it. So I can't wait till we get off of here because once we get off of here, I'm gonna snort this. So no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I need to feel that high of a championship from 2 weeks ago. So once we get off of here, I'm gonna snort this. So, um, and I'm gonna enjoy it very much. There's nothing else to do right now. It's raining outside. Can't go outside. So, but anyways, and I got that yesterday in the mail. Made my day. Made my weekend. So shout out there once again to Eric from Bat Boys. So that was really cool. So
No, that's sweet,
uh,
man.
yeah.
That's
Thank you. Of
yeah.
course, I'm not just gonna keep it in the bag. I'm probably gonna eat some, but um, I'm gonna put it like in a jar or something. I'll make it nice and stuff. So, um, and yeah. So hopefully this is the start of a new collection here. I could just start collecting dirt at different places. So, we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, moving on to other topics here. I'm glad I got that snort joke in. I was thinking that in the shower before we jumped on here. I'm like, what can I say to make this a little bit more funny? I know. I'll say I'll snort this after. So there we go. And it seems like it got Kyle to chuckle. So there we go. That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
All right. To the topic at hand today, we got awards, which finally we can, you know, say congratulations to some of these people. Because it feels like again we've been having these conversations for weeks now. We got the Josh Naylor signing last night. Props to the Seattle Mariners for getting the first big domino, first big player off the board here. And then the ballot got released today for next year, so we'll be doing a little Hall of Fame. So we're kind of touching a little bit of everything today. So I like that. But we'll start with the awards. Of course, congratulations to all our winners here. Of course, your manager of the year, the same two guys that won it last year, won it again this year, Pat Murphy and Stephen Vogt. So congratulations to them. Rookie of the years seems like it was no surprise, unanimous decision for Nick Kurtz. I have to say that slowly. I don't want to get in trouble. Um, but then this one, Drake Baldwin, your
Hmm.
National League winner, and it felt like there was a lot of controversy with that one.
Hmm.
Especially, there was a lot of Cub fans who were upset that their guy didn't win it. I'm sure we'll touch on that a little bit later. I thought he was gonna win, just but I gotta look at it again real quick. But of course, your Cy Young Award winners, Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal. And then, of course, your NL and AL MVP awards. Our guys, Shohei Ohtani, unanimous again, winning his fourth MVP. That's now two in the American League with the Angels and now two in the National League with the Dodgers. And Aaron Judge. How about
Wait,
it?
time out. Say it again. Just one more time. Go ahead. Say it again. Go ahead.
Your back to back
Yep.
American League most valuable player,
Yeah.
Aaron Judge
That's
of the New
okay.
York Yankees.
I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly. I wasn't sure there.
That was the closest out of all. I think it was the closest out of all the awards we had this year.
Hmm.
Judge had 17 first place votes to Cal Raleigh's 13 first place votes. I guess Kyle, I'm not gonna waste any more time, man. Take your victory lap. Congratulations to Aaron Judge, and yeah, I wanted Cal Raleigh to win, but again, I understand why you give it to Judge. I completely get it. I guess I just wanted to see somebody new, but I
Mm.
do think. Yeah, that
Mm.
was. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But well, and then I was thinking of Raleigh, like what if he doesn't have a season like that again? Like like, but
I get
but
it. I get it. I get it.
but I know I kind of tipped my hand there a little bit there. Um, I do think the voters got it right. I'll say that.
Okay.
So I'm not. I'm gonna stop talking. Kyle, have at it. Aaron Judge, your back-to-back American League MVP.
Yeah, man. I mean, I pleaded my case for weeks. I'm not going to get too far into the details because I've if you really want to hear everything, you can go back to a couple of podcasts and last couple of weeks we've been talking about it. We knew this was coming up. We it kind of took a back seat after the postseason started, and we really didn't talk about it. But dude, I've rested my case last week, and I stand by it. I mean, Aaron Judge, man. I mean, there's really not much more to say. I mean, this guy, you just every single year, what he brings to this Yankees team, it's phenomenal. Now, I do want to say though, Cal Raleigh, he had a phenomenal season. I posted a video after it was announced. Um, Cal Raleigh deserves it was one of those cases where no matter who got it, it was deserving. But of course, I'm going to be advocating for my guy. Um, and even if I was any other fan other than the Mariners or the Yankees, right? I still would think that Aaron Judge gets the nod because of him. Um, the stats and just side by side comparison and there's so many people who are talking about like Cal's defense and having to run an entire staff and then of course just switch hitting catcher the whole 9 yards. Aaron Judge had more defensive runs saved this season. I mean, it's just if you want to bring up his defense, I can bring up Judge's too. This guy plays the field and he plays it at an elite level at any outfield position that you put him in. Um, yeah, man, it's just there's not much more for me to say. I mean, I definitely think the voters got it right, and I'll say this: the voter fatigue, it's not there, man. It's really
Yep,
not
I was wrong on that
because
one.
dude, there's been so many of these awards, man. A Manager of the Year, Cy Young, and now MVP. I mean, there's back to back winners. There's guys who are in the conversation at all times. It's just it's one of those things that you can't overlook greatness, and and just try to just put a bow on it and finish off my congrats there and Judge. I mean, if you look at this MVP race, okay, to me it just pisses me off even more the fact that Aaron Judge is not a four-time MVP winner. Because when you look back at those 2017 stats, man, him and Altuve, it was not close.
Yeah,
It was
I
not.
posted it last week, and I had to remind myself like, I think Judge should have got screwed out of that one. But
If you look at that Altuve and Judge race and you compare it to Rowley and Judge, I mean, come on, man. Aaron Judge should be a four-time MVP winner right now. Um, but that's beside the point. Congrats to Aaron Judge, phenomenal season. Congrats to Cal Raleigh too, man. I mean, if he would have won, I would have been pissed off about it, yes, but I there's a case where he deserves it, and there's no doubt about that. So phenomenal seasons out of both of these guys. That's kind of the bow on the AL MVP.
yeah, absolutely, and I'm so glad. And I had to double check this, but I'm so glad that Bob Nightingale or Ken Rosenthal just didn't tweet it out 15 seconds before the announcement was made because there
Yeah,
was like a suspense to it. You know,
there was.
it wasn't. MLB Network is not stupid. They know what they're doing. Like there was a reason why they did the National League award first.
Hmm.
They were holding out the suspense for the American League as they should. But I'm just glad that Nightingale or Passon or Rosenthal, none of these guys just tweeted it out. Um, 15 seconds before the announcement was made, even though all three of them probably did know who was going to win.
Yeah.
Before the announcement was made. So shout out to them. And yeah, I mean, Judge deserve it. I've already said I was dead wrong on the voter fatigue, and you also brought up a good point too. Yeah, look at this smile, smirk on his face when I said yeah. um, you brought up a good point that the voter fatigue is not just there. It's not there with the MVP award, and it's also not there with these other awards, like you just mentioned, Manager of the Year, Cy Young Award. Like that's the thing I like about baseball. I know it has its flaws like all these other sports do, but I think it's because I'm so like I care about these other sports too, and I guess my brain has just been so fried with the MVP voting the last couple of years, where it's like, all right, it's clear like they just wanted to give it to somebody else, even though the person who's already won it a bunch of time deserves it. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna get into it because then we'll be here all night, but um, I'm I'm glad the MLB writers and the voters got it right, and they basically told me you can shove the voter fatigue up your ass, Melo. So it's not there, and yeah, but all those things you just said about Judge, you say the same thing about Shohei Ohtani, and he was your unanimous MVP award winner. So that was cool. I obviously I wasn't nervous. I knew I had a good feeling Shohei was gonna win, but um, I was just anxious to see what the voting was gonna look like. Well, like was Schwarber gonna get a couple first place votes? And honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he did. But I went into the vote. I went into the night saying, you know what, like Shohei's gonna win again, but I don't think it's gonna be unanimous this time. I think somebody somewhere will give a vote to Schwarber just because. But I'm glad they didn't do that. He was unanimous again. And yeah, so good. Props to them. But I want to just go touch on what I said a minute ago here. Drake Baldwin,
Hmm.
MVP. I mean, a Rookie of the Year winner for the Atlanta Braves. There was some Cubs. Excuse me. There was a lot of people and some Cubs fans specifically that were not happy with the vote. Um, I don't know how you feel about it. I was not expecting Jake Baldwin to win. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hmm.
But maybe that's my fault. Maybe I just wasn't watching enough Braves this season, and maybe I saw the posts on Instagram and stuff, but maybe I just wasn't aware of how good of a season I guess he had. But um, I was surprised to see how much uproar there was after this. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But
Yeah. Just before I get into the rookie of the year talk, I just want to make one more note on specifically MVP because this is where we see the most basically the same. The last six MVP awards in the American League have been by our two guys. Um, so I'll say it this way: the way that I view this whole like voter fatigue thing, I don't need it to be a thing because, in my opinion, the best guy needs to win. Is it gonna get repetitive? Is it gonna get kind of annoying? Maybe. Yes, but also too like you you cannot disregard greatness, right? In my opinion. And if Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch and hit every single year at an elite level, he automatically wins it, in my opinion. And I hate to say that. I truly do, but you can't just vote for somebody else because like that'd be like voting for Kyle Schwarber this year over Shohei Ohtani just because you're sick of Ohtani winning. That's just not the case. You can't do that. You cannot. So I really hope this continues. And if it's Aaron Judge who's the best player in the American League and he wins, then hey, that's just it is what it is. If it's Shohei Ohtani in the National League, it's the same thing. So I really hope this voter fatigue it's not a thing and it just continues the way that it is. Just one last side note on that. Now, as far as rookie of the year, man, yeah, I was in the same boat as you, man. I thought Cade Horton was winning it. Um, I'm I have these guys now. It's very hard to compare these two because one's a pitcher and one's a hitter. However, when I look at this man, 2.0 WAR, 11-4 record with a 2.67 ERA for Cade Horton. Um, Here's the big one: 118 innings pitched. Okay, that's nothing to scoff at. No, I get it. Like Terry Scuball and those guys, they're up in the 200s. Whatever. This is a rookie dude who's pitching for the Cubs. In I mean, he's posting
he
almost.
got
He
called
has
up
over.
in May after the
That's
Imanaga injury, so 118 innings is actually pretty damn good for
that's
making
what I'm
his debut
saying.
in May.
That's what I'm saying, man. Now, I don't know if this is a case where offense is just more. wanted in Major League Baseball just because people think it's more exciting. In my opinion, I'm not in that boat. It's funny because Aaron Judge is my favorite player and I love watching him play, but I appreciate pitching on a whole new level more than I do hitting. Um, because like, and then
Why
I
couldn't you support the catcher who was being the catcher for all these Mariners starting pitchers in Colorado? No, I'm just kidding.
because he didn't deserve MVP.
Right,
That
because
was a good one.
because he bat 240 during the season
That was a good one. I'll give you that.
and
I like
choked on the final weekend of the season to break Judge's record.
I like that. Um, no, but then obviously, so I have Drake Baldwin's stats up here: 274 batting average, 19 homers, 111 hits, over 405 at bats, 3.3 WAR. Now the WAR is higher.
Which led all rookies this year
Yes,
in the National League.
yes, and if you're not, I mean, if you're new to baseball, WAR is one of those categories that the Hall of Fame is really big on. Now, a lot of the voters, how many people are voting for the awards who are on the Hall of Fame ballot? That could be another thing that you bring into this. There's so many different things. In my opinion, Rookie of the Year is it's more one of those fun awards to me. I'm not like I'm not pissed off like last year. If Luis Heel didn't win it, so be it. I'm not I'm not pissed off over these type of awards. But in my opinion, pitching pitching's just a little bit more important in the game of baseball. And to me, Cade Horton was the clear winner. But again, I'm not tuned into Cubs and Braves as much as I am some of these other teams. So again, I mean, both of them had phenomenal seasons. I'm not going to say that, but a catcher who has 111 hits, 274 batting average over a guy who pitched 118 innings with a 2 point, I think I said 7.4 ERA, something like that. To me, it's Cade Horton, but that's just me. But like I said, I'm not necessarily pissed off. It is what it is. But in my opinion, the voters definitely got this one wrong.
Yeah, and the final tally was 183 points for Baldwin to 139 for Horton. Drake Baldwin got 21 out of the 30 first place votes. So
That's crazy to me, man.
yeah, I thought it would be the other way almost. You know,
Yeah. I agree, or if not closer, man. I mean, to me, those votes are not close enough. Cade Horton is not getting enough credit for what he did this past season in his rookie year. Um, so to me, that one doesn't sit right with me. But again, it's rookie of the year voting, so it is what it is to me.
absolutely. And shout out to Dodgers, Jack Dreyer for getting 4 points, 4 votes for and rookie of the year, which he finished. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How about a top 10 finish for Jack Dreyer right there? How about that? So that was the only Dodger that showed up on the list. So uh, yeah. So yeah. So and then of course we had Cy Young Award, which that was we all knew that we could have told you that in July that those are your two winners, and
Yeah.
so that was put to bed. I liked um what was it, Tarek Skubal
Hmm.
having all his family there in Vegas because of course they were there for the award show. And how about Paul Skeens actually showing some emotion here when
I know, right?
he won. Last year when he won Rookie of the Year, he was just like, all right, cool, thanks. Big deal. His girlfriend was more excited for the award than he was. And then this year you saw him crack a smile and go like this a little bit. So that was good to see for the future Dodger, Paul Skeens. So um and
Crazy.
yeah, so congratulations to both future Dodgers because I'm telling you, we're not getting both, but the Dodgers are going to get one of them, either Tarek or Paul Skeens. I'll just put that out there in the universe right now. I
Wow.
know Paul Skeens said all of that with the Bronx, and I know there's a rumor going around that he wants to go to the Yankees and all that, but yeah, we'll
I'll
have
take.
something. We'll have something to say about that as well. So, you know, but if we don't get Skeens, we're just gonna trade or sign for Tarek Scootball. So it's
It's
okay.
probably true. Yeah. No,
It's okay.
I get
That's
that.
fine. That's fine. The next left-handed great starting pitcher to lead us into the future, Tarek Skubal. How does that not make you want to come play for the Dodgers now? But we're not talking about that. So
You fucking Dodger fans, man. I'm
fucking
telling
right, fucking
you.
right, fucking right.
What you have is never enough.
No, it's not. I'm the spoiled rich kid that wants more.
Understandable. I don't blame you, man.
Once you win, God, you want some more, man. You never. It's like a drug. You just want to keep snorting it and just till you pass out. That's how you. That's how you. That's how it is winning, man. It's God. You just want to win more, but
Never gets
uh,
old.
never gets old. You're damn right, and the trophy's right there, and it's smiling at me again. So yeah. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for the awards. Congratulations, everybody, once again. Of course, uh, first team all the MLB teams came out as well. Congratulations to everybody. That'll be cool to look on. I always like looking back at those all team MLBs, and it's like, damn, man, just how much like the league has changed and stuff over the last couple years. Of
It
course,
has.
you still have your judges and your Otanis, but it's just like, damn, man, it always some of these positions always seem to flip flop, and it's just so
It does.
it's kind of crazy just how it evolve how teams and players evolve over the years.
And real quick too, I kind of want to go back a little bit and see our preseason predictions for these awards. And
So I said Otani. I just saw it this morning. I just saw mine because I'm full of myself and I don't care about anybody else. So no, I'm just kidding. It's, partially not, but I saw I picked I mean no, I picked Otani and I picked Bobby Witt Jr. to win MVP. So and I picked Crochet and I picked Yamamoto for Cy Young,
okay, yeah, I'll have to
which
look
I
back.
wasn't that far off. They both finished in the top three. So
You are true, but I there's one theme that I've been going around here a little bit that I picked up on, especially the last season. You don't give Judge enough credit, man.
yeah.
You don't give him enough credit.
Listen, I like Aaron Judge. He's fun to watch every night, but I think I don't think I've picked him. Like I
You
think I've
no,
I've
man.
I've picked Otani, but I haven't picked Judge.
That's
I got
crazy, man.
nothing. I got nothing against him.
Oh man, preseason. Well, first off, our preseason projections. You picked Bobby Wood Jr., and then for the last couple of weeks, you've been making the case for Cal Raleigh. Man, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be waving pom poms when we're in March at the WBC in Houston for Aaron Judge when he steps up to the
That's
plate.
true. That's true.
Now,
I'll give you
now
that.
if he has a shitty tournament, you know, then I'm gonna go back to why the fuck is this guy on the team?
Oh, of course.
Why are we bringing? Why is this guy here, man? Should have brought Mookie or something, but no. So I have your awards actually right here in front of me while we were talking. So you picked Judge and Otani, so you got that
There
right.
we
You picked Paul Skeens to win MVP, Cy Young, so you got that. You picked Cole Raines to win American League.
go. Damn,
Yeah.
dude, we were both high on the Royals this season.
Yes, we were.
We were.
You picked Dylan Cruz and Jason Dominguez for Rookie of the Year.
That
And
was a
then
shit.
you picked Dave Martinez, which is out of a job, and uh, and you picked AJ Hinch to win Manager of the Year.
Okay.
And I had Drobe and Cruz for Rookie of the Year.
Hmm.
And then I had Terry Francona, and which I was right. He didn't win, but
Yeah.
I was right about I was on. I You saw the vision with that one, and then I picked Alex Cora for
Okay.
um for the Red Sox. So
Interesting.
not bad.
Cole Reagans. What the fuck was I thinking? Christ.
I know. I think we just wanted to give it to somebody different.
Yeah, maybe it's us who has the voter fatigue.
Maybe I know. Maybe we're the ones that just have to stop and. But is it fun though? Like when we like next March when we make our predictions for 2026.
Yeah,
What fun is it? We're gonna pick Shohei Judge, Skeens, and Scooball to win those four awards, and then after that, it's a crapshoot with the Rookie of the Years and Manager of the Years. Well, what fun is
that's
that?
true. That's true. I get it.
So. Should we see? I want to see some of these comments real quick. Is Melo
Oh,
drunk? Yeah, real original stuff from Kyle.
dude, Cole Reagans, come on now. That's pretty fucking original.
Yeah, Cattell Marte NL MVP. Actually, no, he had a good season. That's
He did.
that's not cool. That's not fair.
He might be on his way out of Arizona soon.
Yeah. Um, so there you go. Congratulations to all our winners. All right, let's get to the first big signing of this early season. Josh Naylor coming back to the Seattle Mariners on a 5-year deal. I don't think we ever got a number, but it is a 5-year deal. But either way, this is good for baseball, and this is good for the Seattle Mariners. He was a clear piece that they needed, and they got him. I don't even think they traded for him at the deadline. I think they got him right before that. I think I'm not sure. I gotta go back and look, but um, he's exactly the type of person that Seattle clubhouse needs. And you heard it the other day with Cal Rawling. If there was somebody he can have back, it was Josh Naylor. I think that wasn't the question, but I think he got very close with Josh Naylor in the couple months they were together on the Mariners. But I like what the Mariners are doing so far, and if this isn't a preview of what I think is going to happen, I think it's extremely early. It's only November 17th, but I think you're looking at a big off season here with the Seattle Mariners, and I think I wouldn't be shocked by the end of March when we're getting ready for opening day. I wouldn't be surprised if you look back at the Seattle Mariners as one of the winners of the off season. They were one bad inning away from probably going to the World Series. They got to Game 7 of the League Championship Series. Um, I am so glad that the Mariners are not just sitting on their hands and they're gonna let Naylor walk. I'm glad they brought him back. This is good for the Mariners. This is good for baseball, and I'm keeping my eye on the Seattle Mariners this offseason because if they make a couple moves here, a couple more moves, I think I have a clear favorite in the American League when we get to March next year. But I need to see what these other teams do first. But right now, huge props to the Seattle Mariners bringing back a fan favorite. It seems like he fell in love with the city, and the city fell in love with him. He was showing up to games in Seattle in like supersonic jerseys and Seahawk jerseys. Like, he really embraced the city, and I like when players do that. You know, so congrats to Josh Naylor getting a big payday. We assume it's a 5-year deal, and good for the Mariners starting getting the first big domino out of the way here. So props to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of touched on it with the off season and kind of looking back in March and saying that the Mariners would be a winner. I mean, this is what we've been asking for the past couple of years, man. I mean, the Seattle Mariners are always that case in the offseason that we have been talking about in the offseason for quite some time, where we are expecting a big thing out of them and they come up empty and they fall straight on their faces. I'm hoping coming off of the ALCS appearance that this team runs with that, and it looks like they're going to because they have Josh Naylor locked up for the next 5 years. Josh Naylor has always been one of those players that I have always said high things about. I mean, even when he was on the Guardians and he rocked the baby in the Bronx, he's that type of player where like when that happened, I wasn't necessarily like pissed off. I was more of the fact like, damn, I want a guy like that on my team. Um, he buys into wherever he's playing. He plays his heart out every single day, and that right there is not something you can really teach or perfect in his game. That's something that comes from him, and you can tell he loves the sport of baseball. He absolutely loves putting on that uniform and going out there every single day, and he's gonna play with his ass, dude, every single fucking game. And this is a guy who I even said this when he was in Arizona and he got traded. I was hoping that he would get a nice deal, and I think he finally got that with Seattle. He seems like a Seattle guy, like you said. He kind of bought into the city. I I don't have any. There's no bad things that I can say about this. It's a win-win for Josh Naylor and the Mariners, and I'm finally glad that Josh Naylor gets some stability. You know, he had it there in Cleveland for a little while, but then they shipped him off to Arizona. Arizona shipped him to Seattle. So hopefully now he can call Seattle home for quite some time, even past these 5 years, man. He's a player who I think extremely highly of, and I don't see this becoming a bad deal for the Mariners. Like I said, it was a win-win on both sides, and I'm, first domino to fall, and I hope it keeps up, man. I really do, because if so, this could be a fun off season, and yeah, and kind of like you, man, I'm excited for this team, and I finally hope that in the past couple of years, this was enough to get them over that hump in the offseason. That they are going to buy into this club and keep spending money, man. That's what I really hope, because the Mariners are fun, man. I mean, I'm not taking that away from them. It's a fun team. So hopefully they can build off of this and just keep going in the offseason, and yeah, they'll if that happens, man, they're to me they're already the clear-cut favorite in the American League West,
Okay.
and well, that's right now. You know, we have a ton of off season to go, but if the season were to start today, I'd say the Mariners are the clear cut favorite in the American League West. And if depending on what moves they make in the off season, they could be a competitor in the American League as a whole, up there with Detroit and so forth and so on, and Toronto. So hopefully they continue, man. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, Josh Naylor to the Mariners, 5 year deal extension. It's a win win.
Yep. It's a win-win. Absolutely. And now we wait until the next big free agent comes off the board. Seems like a lot of people made predictions that it was going to be one of the relief pitchers, specifically Edwin Diaz,
Hmm.
was going to be one of the first ones to come off the boards here, but it was Josh Naylor. So how about that? So all right, final topic here. The ballot for the Hall of Fame got released today. That was got some new names on here, and I'm telling you, man, some of these players that are getting added, it's scary because I remember watching a lot of these guys. It's scary that these a lot of these guys that are already retired. Um, so a couple newcomers here. We have Ryan Braun. Boo, he's not getting in. You suck. Um, Edwin Encarnacion, Gio Gonzalez, Alex Gordon, Cole Hamels, uh, Jin Soo Chu, Dodgers legend Matt Kemp. How about that? Dodgers legend Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Daniel Murphy, Hunter Pence, and Rick Porcello. Those are your first newcomers onto the ballot. Of course, your returning ones: Mark Burley, Bobby Abreu, Carlos Beltran, Felix Hernandez, Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones, Dustin Pedroia, Andy Pettit, and of course your steroid guys: Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, um, and then Francisco Rodriguez, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Omar Vizquel, and David Wright. Um, it gonna be honest here.
Go ahead, because I'm thinking it.
There's not many Hall of Famers on here, if any. These are Hall of Very Good.
Oh
So
yeah.
that account on Twitter will have a field day with this. But um, I mean, just going off of the voting from last year, the only two I think that are gonna make it on here is Carlos Beltran and and Andrew Jones. I
Yeah.
think those are the only two. And it sucks because these are guys that we watched growing up as a kid, and specifically Matt Kemp, Manny Ramirez, Howie Kendrick, guys like that. It's like, like if you have to make a case, and again, we're gonna do this all over again, but if you have to make a case for some of these guys, they're not Hall of Famers. They're not Hall
Agreed.
of Famers. I'm sorry, they're just not. And just looking at this list, it's a fun list, but this is a Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Very Good, and unfortunately, uh, maybe like two or three of these guys are gonna have a real shot of getting in. Other than that, some of these guys are gonna be off the ballot by next year, which sucks. But that's how I see it. It was cool though to see some of those guys come on the list. That was really cool though. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Growing up, it's no secret, my mom's a huge Mets fan. So a lot of these guys, Daniel Murphy, Alex Gordon in a bad way. and then of course like David Wright, guys like that. It's just I David Wright was my guy growing up, right? He was one of my guys. I hated that he played for the Mets, but
Big Yankees fan here.
listen, I appreciated David Wright for who he was, and I can't be blamed for that. Damn it! But he was also a guy who like just growing up, he was your typical role model baseball player, man. He was out of the limelight in a bad way. So that was always good. He was a good role model, but like yeah, man. I mean, I was
Wasn't
thinking the same
exactly
thing.
Derek Jeter in the New York nightlife. So
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah. Um, but no, like these guys are not. They're just not Hall of Famers, and I hate to say it. I truly do because, like you said, like growing up, some of these guys like they were staples in our life, and just watching things. It's just it's. I fear that the Hall of Fame is going too much towards the first year we were in Cooperstown, which, as much as I don't want to disrespect Fred McGriff or Scott Rowland, it's just we can't be scratching and clawing for these guys, right? It's the Hall of Fame for a reason. It's baseball's immortality. These guys can't get in just on the fact of like, oh, well, we need to have somebody. It's just that's not how it is, man. And Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones, yes, I do agree. They're probably going to make it, on the ballot and potentially in. Especially Carlos Beltran. He was really close in votes last year, but it goes back to the same thing we've been talking about the Hall of Fame. If you let guys like Carlos Beltran in, why isn't A Rod going on the list? Why isn't obviously Barry Bonds is the biggest one that we've all talked about? It's just I don't get it, man. I don't understand some of this voting sometimes, and it's it sucks, but it is what it is, and we'll obviously see, and we'll touch on it as we get closer. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones, man. I really wouldn't. Which it's not the sexiest class, that we've had in the past, but you know, it's at least cool to see some of these guys who we watched growing up, slowly make their way on the list. CC for me last year was a big one when it comes to guys growing up and really watching. It's just if to me if Carlos Beltran gets on this ballot, man, Manny Ramirez and A Rod should be on it. I'm sorry. I hate to say it that way, but it's just it's the way I view it. But yeah, man. I mean, we'll obviously keep talking about it as it gets closer. But Hall of really good. That's what that list comes down to, in my opinion.
yeah, and it sucks that and it's not always gonna be like this. Like Pujols, Cabrera, guys like that are gonna come on the ballot like in a couple years. It's just a 5 year waiting period for some of these guys. Like Kershaw is gonna be there like in 5 years,
Yeah,
2031 or 2030, whatever year. So the legends that are gonna be the first ballots, they are coming, just not in the next couple years here. So, however, you really want to talk about a list here, let's really get to the fun. So this came out November 3rd, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about it because we were touching on the World Series and everything else. But the Hall of Fame unveiled an 8-player temporary baseball era committee ballot. Now these are some of the big boys here. This is what I'm interested in. Um, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens are your headliners, along with Carlos Delgado, Jeff Kent, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Gary Sheffield, and my guy Fernando Valenzuela. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't see him on here, but no, I guess he's not on here. All right, well, I was gonna say Oral Hershiser, but I don't think he's on there. That's the one I'm looking forward to, and that announcement will be less than a month here. It'll be December 7th, so I cannot wait for that. Could this finally be the time where Don Mattingly gets in? Which honestly, that should have happened years ago. But I wonder how they'll feel about some of these other guys. Now, I'm sure some of the voters are like, please get these guys off this list. I don't want
yeah,
them anywhere near this list. But who knows? They have an opportunity to maybe right some of their wrongs here. And maybe, Gary Sheffield will get some love. We'll see. But I think that's more interesting than the recent ballot that came out today, to be
it
honest with
is.
you.
It. It's very interesting, and with the news after Pete Rose passed away last year, and you know that whole thing when it comes to the Hall of Fame, um, I gotta think that Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds are off of this list. I don't see a world where they get in. Like I just
At least not when they're alive.
no, unfortunately, like I don't agree with that. If they
Me
are good
neither.
enough, if they're good enough to get in after they have passed, why not just induct them now? That's the way I view it. I might not agree.
It's baseball's cruel way of a punishment.
Yeah, I might not agree with what Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens did during their playing careers, but if you're gonna induct them, like don't be that guy. Don't do that. That's just the way I view it. But the two names that I'm looking on this list in specifically is Don Mattingly and Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent
Yeah.
has gone Jeff Kent's gone under the radar, but I want to tell you guys something. If you want to have a fun time on Baseball Reference, go on Jeff Kent's Baseball Reference.
Yep.
He's not this pushover, man.
No,
This is a
he should have
guy.
been in.
I agree.
But
He
again,
is.
because he was an ass to the media during his
Yeah.
playing careers, none of the writers, when it came time for them to make a decision, they didn't vote him in.
Hmm.
Which it shouldn't be like that.
No.
But unfortunately, that's how it is for this group.
Yeah, and I mean, Jeff Kent's one of those guys, in my opinion. Now, this might stir the pot a little bit. He's one of the best second basemen of all time,
I'm right there with you.
in my opinion. This is a guy, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, just go have fun and look at his baseball reference, please, because you will have a heyday. And I also think another name is Fernando Venezuela. I mean, this is a guy who he's been honored by the Dodgers time and time again. He's another guy who, if you look at his baseball reference, there's a case for him. There is. But yeah, Dom Mattingly and Jeff Kent, those are the two names that I'm really looking at here for this ballot. But we'll see where it goes. But I also it's going back to the awards that we were talking about earlier, the whole voter fatigue thing, right? Give it to the guys who deserve it. Don't let any of the outside shit sway your opinion or anything like that. That's the same case for this with Jeff Kent in particular. It's just numbers don't lie, man, and that's how I feel about my guy Don Mattingly too. But we'll see where it goes. But yes, no, I definitely agree with you that this ballot's interesting. It's got some names on there, and we'll see where it goes. It's gonna be interesting.
I'll make a prediction right now. I think Don Mattingly gets in.
I like that. I hope so,
I
man.
I
I
think
really
so. I
do.
think it's gonna happen. That would make the class a lot more appealing. And again, I'm not
It will.
saying that's why Don Mattingly should get voted because it would make the weekend more appealing. Like I'm not saying that he
Works
deserves to
for
be
me.
in there. He should have been. Yeah, and he should have been in there a long time ago. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think Don Mattingly. I think his time. I think he's paid his dues. I don't know why he should have been in a long time ago.
That's
Um,
what I'm saying, man. Yeah.
yeah, but some of these other guys, we'll see where they stand. Dale Murphy's another one that a lot of people have always made the case for that he should have been in.
Hmm.
Um, and of course, I was disappointed that Gary Sheffield didn't get in. I thought
Yeah.
he should have got in. So maybe we'll see about that. But we'll see. We shall see here. But yeah, that's uh, that's your Hall of Fame talk, and you're gonna hear more about it because, like I said, we have the that voters committee thing results coming out next month, and then of course you have your usual um, Hall of Fame ballot coming out, voting results I think in January. So a lot more Hall of Fame talk on the way here with this
Absolutely.
with this stuff. So all right, well unless you got anything else, I think that's it.
I think that's it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, for a quick for this felt even though we've done this for 49 minutes, it feels like it's been a lot quicker than that. But
It does.
um,
You're right.
we're getting used to this.
I would hope
We
so.
are we're
No,
getting used to this. I know 150 episodes in, I would hope we're not scratching and clawing because that's how it used to be when we first started doing this.
it was.
It
It
would be
really
like at
was.
minute 20, it's like oh shit, like we're already out of stuff.
Yeah.
But
No, I feel like we've definitely gotten better at making these topics last a little bit longer. So,
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think yeah, that's gonna do it. Um, Forgot to mention this to you at the start. Sorry about my Packers yesterday.
no,
I
it's all right, man. Yeah, it's all good. It's all expected every single week, man. I'm telling you, doesn't stop. The pain for New York sports fans just does not stop.
how many more days to opening day?
I'm counting down the fucking days, man. I'm telling you.
We're
All
approaching
my
100 days until the World Baseball Classic, so that's good.
listen, yeah, exactly. I'll take that. That's at least set in stone and ready to go. So, at least we got something to look forward to.
All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 154. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, we will see you next week. And hopefully, we'll have maybe one or two guys that have either re signed with their team or they have a new home.
Hope so,
So
man.
I'll make a prediction. I think Edwin Diaz will have a new team by next week. There.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Where's he going? Los Angeles.
I don't want Edwin Diaz. I really don't. I really don't want Edwin Diaz. Too
If you
shaky
don't
for me,
want,
and I had to deal with this shit with Tanner Scott all year.
listen.
Now, I'm only saying this because I think he would be cheaper. I'll
Hmm.
take my chances with Devin Williams on a
Yeah,
cheaper deal than giving over $100 million to Edwin Diaz for 5 years.
Edwin Diaz is
I
looking
take
for
my
that.
chances with Devin Williams. I know he was shaky with the Yankees too, but I for
Yeah,
cheap I'd take my chances with Williams than Diaz.
I agree. No, I definitely agree. And Edwin Diaz is looking for that same kind of contract they had with the Mets. So, well,
He
if
said
he's
it
not
was
going,
50-50 he was going to return, which basically
yeah,
is telling you no, I'm not coming back here.
unless the money's right, that's the only way
Right.
he goes back. If he's not going to Los Angeles, where's he going?
He's going to the Bronx.
Damn.
That's what I
Fuck, I
said.
don't want him.
Well, somebody has to take him. So,
It's funny because I predicted your team. You said you didn't want him. You predicted my team, and I said I didn't want him. Go back to Queens. That's the way I view it.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the obvious choice. I think that I
Dude,
mean, not the obvious choice. It should be priority number 1 for the Mets in my opinion.
it's just like all this Pete Alonso talk, man. I've been seeing like his
I
best
don't think he's
fit.
coming back. I know I said Mets, but I don't think he's coming back.
I keep seeing all this talk. His best potential fit on all these graphics and everything else is the Yankees. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want him. I don't want him.
All right.
So,
Well,
re-sign Cody Bellinger, put him
jog
at
out
first base.
jog out 40-year-old Paul Goldschmidt again next year then.
No, no. See, listen. Yeah, I hear you. Put Belly at first base and call up Spencer Jones. That's a better
Yeah.
plan in my opinion. But we'll see where it goes. But no, interesting.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Edwin Diaz will be with a new team next week, or he'll be signed by next week. There's your prediction here, and I'll do one every week before we get out of here. So
Ooh, that's a good one. I like
yeah.
that.
What about you?
Man,
You got one?
damn, man, you put me on the spot.
Doesn't have to be a
um,
sign. It could be like a trade or something, or somebody gets an extension or something. It doesn't. It could be anything.
I I do like your idea of getting one every week. Give me a lower one. Give me Luis Arise. He has a new home.
Ooh, okay. I like that. There we go.
I'll take that, and then I'll think about this before we finish the episode
Yeah.
next.
Sorry, I kind of put you on the
No,
spot there a
that's
little bit.
I'm gonna say Luis Arise has a new home.
All right. There we go. Uh. All right. Well, there you go. We'll see you next week. Adios.